We are live.
Hey crafters, welcome to This Crafty Life Live, the show where two crafters are going to spend an hour with you feeding their passion for all things that are crafty. And they're going to bring you along for the ride. It's going to be a fun time. We got a great guest today, and I know you're going to love it. But before we get started, if you have questions or show ideas, please feel free to email us at ThisCraftyLifeLive at gmail.com. Now let me introduce our hostess to you today. First we have Maymay. I know you guys might recognize her from her YouTube channel, Maymay Made It, where she does everything from paper crafting to upcycle projects. She also designs her own fun line of clear stamp sets, and I know you guys are familiar with those things. A lot of you are participating in her stamp club, but she has that also available to you. And oh, did I mention that she is a self-proclaimed Periscope addict? Loves her some Periscope. Everybody say hello to Maymay.
Hey guys.
And then we have Melody Lane. I'm sure you guys recognize her too from her YouTube channel, where she does some amazing projects and tutorials and some great hauls. And she's also a Cricut product expert, so any Cricut question she can handle for you guys, and I know you're going to love to ask her those things. And she also has some really great giveaways on her Patreon page, so you guys want to get over there and check all that stuff out and see some of the great things that she gives away during that. So everybody say hello to Melody Lane. Now you'll find the links to all of Maymay and Melody's social media sites when we get done in the show notes below. Now I'll be monitoring all the questions and the comments, so give me a shout out, let me know where you're from, and ask any questions, and at different times during the show we'll pause and answer your questions. All right, ladies, what's on the show today?
Well, as always, before I tell you what we got on the show, I got to introduce our moderator. This is Vinny, my better half, and I'm glad to have him this morning because I made him work real hard last night, so he's pretty tired.
Not too bad.
Good, good. Today's guest is Cinnamon Cooney. Who else is so excited? Say hello to Cinnamon. She's in our Google chat this morning. She's hanging out. We're going to get to Cinnamon in just a few minutes. Before we do that, we've got a little bit of crafty news to chat with you guys about. Well, I guess I'll start, Melody. Do you want me to start, or you want to start?
You can go ahead and start.
The first thing I want to talk about with you guys is how much we appreciate all the support you have given us this weekend on the new maymaymadeit.com. I have poured my heart and soul into that, and it's funny because I feel so bad when people look at it and go, "She spent 3 months building this," but yes, I did. It looks like it does. It may not look so hard, but from the backside, it is so much work, and I really have been working on it since since summer. But we went live on Saturday. Vince, tell them what happened with it this weekend. Tell them all about it.
Well, we just had a blowout weekend. And we had filled over 100 orders last night just from things that you guys bought this weekend from the store. It's very exciting. It's very nerve-wracking, and because we didn't know what to expect or how you guys would respond, but you guys did a great job. We're so thrilled with introducing the website to you, because now you can go everything, or you can find everything that you want to know about Maymay Made It in one central location at maymaymadeit.com. From the stamp club to her YouTube channel to her every social media link that she's got, it's all there in one place, and it's just incredible. And I'm so excited about it, and all the things that all the hard work she's put into it to make it a success. And you guys have just been fantastic in your support, and we appreciate it so much. I know there's probably a lot more stuff that I should have said about it, but Maymay, fill in the gaps that I missed.
I told him 2 minutes before the show, oh, you're going to talk about the website because you do that. Like, he does the back room of the website. He does all the shipping and packing and talking to you guys, and that's his job. So I was like, all right, talk about what you do. Of course, he kind of worked me like a dog last night. I say I worked him like a dog. He had me up packing packages. But yeah, that's it. I'm really excited to finally be able to click go live on maymaymadeit.com, and so that was super cool. And even other exciting news. We talk a lot about CHA, like we talk about it, and maybe you might hear Melody call it CHA, and you're like, what is she talking about? Well, CHA is the Craft and Hobby Association, and every year, actually I think twice a year, don't they, Mel?
They do it once a year for the mega show, and then they do a smaller show in the summer.
So Melody's headed out to California to be at the show, and the cool thing for you guys is she's going to be out there in the show hall and be able to talk to people that are the ones we see making these wonderful products for us. So she'll be able to try to talk and interview, but I'm going to let Melody tell you what her schedule is, why she's going to be out there, and how you guys can see everything she's doing.
Thanks, Maymay. I'm leaving 4 a.m. Friday morning. I just found that out this morning. George says, so his friend is taking us to the airport at 4 a.m., and I'm thinking 4 a.m.? But I will be, the show is Saturday, Sunday, and then partially on Monday, so I'm going to be using my phone to record a lot. And I bought a special thing, so my phone will not be shaky or anything. It'll hold it still. And last year I talked with Anna Griffin, and she did a little video for me, and Tim Holtz and Diane Reevely and so many other people, and hopefully I get to see them again. I would love to invite them all to be on the show. Don't you guys want them on our show?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I will talk to them. If you know any of them, tell them to come on our show. We'd like to interview them and see what they're doing. But I'm going to be doing live videos from my phone, and then as soon as I get back to the hotel room, I'm uploading them straight from my phone. They won't be edited, so it'll be like you're there with us. I'm going with Crafts by 2 also, so they're going to be doing the same thing. And we're going to try to get different areas and not film the exact same thing, so you can see different videos. And we're going to go check out Ken Oliver and some other people. And I also take requests. Last year somebody asked me to check somebody out. I've never even heard of them until I went and saw their product and interviewed them. So I will take requests, but it's just a way for me to show you what's going to be new for 2016. It's all the new products. Last year I learned about the 3-2-1 punch board from We Are Memory Keepers. The person who actually invented it was showing it in the video. If you want to see a glimpse of my videos from last CHA, I think I have a playlist of videos for, I think it was hashtag CHA 2015 is what it was, so you can see live video and see what was new last year, and the fuse tool. We got to see that for the first time last year. And
didn't we see the mink for the first time last year too?
What was that?
Didn't we see the mink for the first time last year?
Yes, the mink was the first time last year too. Yeah, and Teresa Collins was there, and Heidi Swap was there. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm going to try to get you guys as much video as possible.
Yeah, and I get the question all the time, what's the trend for 2016? What's the trend in crafting? This will be how we'll find out. Melody's going to be an on-the-scene reporter. She's going to go find out.
And this, have you guys seen that show? It was in the UK, but now it's in America. The Craft, it's like HSN, but it's all crafty. What's that called?
Create and Craft.
Yes, they're always there.
I love that channel so much. I just like to watch it and see them use all the tools, and then of course I want them. But I love to watch them introduce so many tools on the Create and Craft channel. They have a YouTube also.
And so I can sit there. Last year I was in the audience and they showed me, but it's nice to be there and you can see all the behind the scenes stuff. And
that's
all
awesome.
The cameraman and everything. It's just all out in the open for us to see.
That is really cool.
And I had that on my channel too. And if you're searching, it's all from January of last year.
I like it because I like the vlog aspect. Like, I love to follow people around with a camera. I don't know. I'm one of those people. You know, like people go, why would anybody watch somebody carry a camera around all day long? I'm that person, buddy. I follow some vlogs.
Yeah.
So I do it when Melody does it too.
Maymay, so you've been doing your yearly scriptural journaling. Can you tell us a little bit about that? You've been doing it for a year, have you?
Yeah, we finished, it's called Hide His Word in My Heart. We have a Facebook group. We just finished our first year, and I got to tell y'all, it has been such a blessing for me. What we did last year was we took one scripture a week, and we art journaled the inspiration from that scripture. So I now have a journal that has 52 art journaled scriptures in it, and it's so cool that when I first started, I thought, oh my gosh, a year, it's going to be so long, but it went by so fast. And this year we're doing stuff a little tiny bit different. We wanted to go a little deeper into the scripture instead of just, because what our goal was in 2015 was to learn 52 scriptures because we did one a week. Well, this time I'm going to be given either one scripture or a passage of scripture, and we're doing something called hearting it. I think this is cool, so let me tell you how this works. Because we are Hide His Word in My Heart, which is small h, small e, capital A-R-T, okay? The H stands for hearing, so we hear the scripture by writing it in our journal, and we, read it and comprehend it. Then E stands for experience it, and in our journal we're going to talk how we want to experience the scripture. And then the art, obviously, is our art. And so on the other side of the page, we're art journaling our experience through scripture. It's really cool. It's different this year. I think it's going to be, we've evolved so much. My administrators have taken on so many new things and roles in the group, and so I'm just really excited about the group. So if you're interested in it, if you head over to Hide His Word in My Heart on Facebook, there is a pinned post that has a video for 2016 where I explain the entire process if you want to get started. And take liberty with it. It's art. Don't think you have to do what I do and you have to be structured like I am. It's art. That's what we're supposed to do, is branch out and do our thing. So just use it as inspiration. And while we're talking about this, Mel, I know that I'm into scripture art journaling, but everybody's not. And so I was looking at YouTube. We were just talking about how much we learn on YouTube. And I follow Jenny from Craft Test Dummies. You know what I'm talking about, Melody?
Yes.
Well, I follow her, and she's doing the coolest thing. I think this is really cool. She's doing something called One Little Tag. And she has a Facebook group set up for it. And what she's done in the past, she started out, you can hear her talk about it in her video, where she started the year out planning to do something, and then it kind of drops away because she kind of gives herself too big of a challenge for the year. So what she's going to do is take a tag like this. Like, this is a little manila tag. This is actually a Ranger one. And I think hers are a little bit smaller. But she's going to create a tag every day in 2016. She's calling it One Little Tag, and she's kind of got her inspiration from Allie Edwards' program called One Little Word, and she's kind of meshed these together, and it is super cool. So at the end of the year, she's not going to have the art journal like I have. She's going to have these little tags that she can put a little ring in and then flip through and see all of her inspiration for the whole year. And I wanted to tell you guys about that because I think that if you're like me, like if you look at this tag and you go, okay, it's blank, and you panic, because like we do that with canvases, we panic or whatever. But if you have that inspiration, like from Jenny or from a Facebook group or something like that, you will be able to achieve these things for the year. So here's what we're going to do. In the show notes below, we've linked the blog post that Jenny did on her blog talking about her one little word, one little tag, which I think is so cool. By the way, her word this year is level up. She took it, and that's what she's going with, and I think that's cool. She wants to level up this year. Isn't that neat, Melody?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I think it is too. Like, just take it another step. But then I'm also linking below Allie Edwards' information for her project, which is the One Little Word project, which is where this was kind of inspired from. Because I'd never heard of it. But when I got to searching, a lot of our fellow Facebookers are already on that group. So a lot of people had already heard about it. So I thought, I want to bring that to you guys today and let you know that there's a great way out there to get inspiration every day and every week on Facebook doing these two little challenges. And in the comments below this video, let me know, one, if you've ever participated before, because they've been doing this for years, like since 2011, or if you plan on joining, and then we want to hear how your experience is. So let us know in the comments of this video.
Yeah, we also have all this information on our website, ThisCraftyLifeLive.com.
Yep. Sure enough. Hey, you know what we need to mention too is we also have our show calendar there on ThisCraftyLifeLive.com, so you guys can see what's next, because our next show is 2 weeks away. We kind of got some really close together here, but now we're going 2 weeks away for the next show.
Yeah, it's January 18th with the Frugal Crafter.
Are you excited? Lindsay's coming.
Yes.
I'm
coming home from California the day before.
Oh, yeah. So you'll meet all the famous people in California and then come back and meet the famous Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Are there any questions for us?
We've only had one question so far. It was from Anthony. It was directed to Cinnamon. So I don't know if you want to get that now or if you want to wait till after she gets started.
Well, let's head right into Cinnamon because everybody wants to know what Cinnamon's got going on. Everybody wants to be a part of Cinnamon's world.
Thank you. How are you guys doing today?
Great. We're good. Guys, Cinnamon Cooney, the art Sherpa, is our guest today. And I'm just going to let Cinnamon tell you what she's got planned, and we're just going to head into the interview and let Cinnamon do her thing while we ask her questions. Cinnamon, tell us all about you.
Well, I had notes, too. I had, like, an answer for that. Well, today what I was thinking I would do is I've got a lesson I've been really wanting to do next weekend, and I always have to do designs, and I realized I could be designing and talking to you guys, and people could get kind of a preview of what I might be doing on Saturday while we're talking about everything. So I'm going to take my owls down, my fabulous owl family down.
And we have our YouTube channel in the description below if people are looking for it.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with me, what I do is I teach people who don't know how to paint, or if you've been away from art very long, I just get you back into the swing of things because I really believe that art helps people in many, many aspects of their lives.
I
think it's healing.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're doing the interview, I'm going to be working on this piece, and my personal goal is I like to do, sometimes I like to see if I can do a piece like under a certain time limit, like a little internal challenge.
So what's your challenge for this one?
I'm thinking I can pull this in under 20 if I'm allowed to use the hairdryer.
Oh, sure.
So I'm all good. Hairdryer, very important art tool. Is it an important crafting tool? I feel so. I feel like I see those heat guns.
Yeah, the heat tool is.
Yeah.
So I have a very probing question for you to start with.
Oh, I love it.
We want to know just how many aprons and hats you own.
You caught me without my hat on, too.
Oh, no!
Gotta get my hat on. I counted, and it was. I kind of feel bad now that I counted. So I have over 40 hats and 38 aprons.
I think that's awesome.
I love your hats.
I love doing my hats. That's my sort of hobby art project that I like to get into. I either buy them on Etsy I love sourcing artists from Etsy. I think it's such an incredible resource for creative people. And so the aprons all come from Etsy. I don't make those. And then if it's a crocheted hat, then definitely that's an Etsy. Because I can't crochet. I admire it so much.
That's the one craft I cannot pick. I mean, there's more than one, but that's the one that I try and try. I get a chain going. I can do a chain like nobody's business, but don't add to it.
Yeah, I'm good for that first one.
Yeah,
which is great for power cables.
So the next question for you is this, and this one's for me. I actually want to know this. Okay. I really appreciate your love for the crafting and art community and how you want to include everybody. And I feel that way too. I feel like I think it's Lindsay that says rising tides sails all ships, right? And I love that, and I feel like that with you. Tell me what it is about your art journey that makes you want to bring everybody else into it, and how you feel about that.
Well, I think that I'm probably pretty similar to a lot of people who are like this. I bet this is similar for you. When I was coming up in fine art, I can't name all the people who, were helpful or mentored, or that's a big thing in the fine art community. We don't survive at all unless we talk to each other. We have to tell each other about galleries and how galleries are treating us. It's one of those deals like if I'm an abstract painter and I go somewhere and I realize, the place is looking for figurative work and my friend is a great figurative artist, I'm going to call them and tell them that gallery has an opening. And, the next time they're someplace and they realize that abstract is needed, they might call me, and it's that kind of talking to each other about pricing and about how things are working that helps us survive in, these creative home businesses. So when I got on YouTube, I don't know what it was like for you guys, but it's, you're kind of out there alone, and the information is sort of for, teenage vloggers and makeup mavens, and not really for artists. And so it was really great to start talking to other artists. And then, I'm a YouTube watcher like you guys, so I'll find people and be just like, they are amazing, and I just want to share it.
We do that too. I actually found you from #LoveSummerArt.
Did you? That was, we started out as 9 channel, like a small, like, how they tell you to stalk other YouTube channels, you're supposed to stalk them and comment on their thing, and then they comment back, and you kind of like get to know each other. I had that core group that I'd been brave enough to get to know, and then Secret Soto had said, she's like, I'm not going to handwrite people. She's like, let's make videos. And then we're, 370 channels now, you guys included, Lindsay, like great channels. That's the Creative Arts Collaboration. If you have an art or craft channel, just, and we take everyone from their first video, creative video, all the way to wherever they are in their journey. And our whole thing is to like help mentor each other and support each other and get art and craft out there.
Yeah, that's a great group on Facebook.
Yeah. And we actually have a YouTube channel.
You don't say, no, you have to have an established channel. And for me, like when my channel wasn't, when I was starting out, it would be so nice to have an outlet like that to where we could come in and chat with other folks and get advice. It was amazing when I found that.
It has been, even for me, I think Lindsay, like, she gave me tips. I've gotten tips from the Junk and Data Girl. I mean, like, I think everyone at every stage of their YouTube channel, when you're talking to other people who are doing that too, and someone can say, oh, I overcame this issue with the live broadcast. I did this setting, and all of a sudden it's just so amazing. Or just being able to post. I think my favorite post in the group is when somebody says, I got this error message, and then 20 people can go, don't worry about that. It's no big deal. I love that. Because I remember, sitting in my studio just panicking about what that error message could have meant.
Yeah, I get that totally. But it's a wonderful group, and I love how much you support our community, and you encourage people to be a part of the community, which is awesome. I hope that I do a good job of that, but I know I don't do as good as you do. You do a great job.
You guys do a great job. This show is such a fantastic example of that, because you're showcasing all these different creators. And I have to say, your project where you invited friends onto your channel to do videos, that was so much fun for me. Plus, now I see the possibility of vacation in the future.
That's right. That's right.
Without having to, because right now as YouTubers, we've got to film up like however many videos we need for while we go away.
That comes about because I'm a YouTube viewer, so I'm watching people all the time, and I'm thinking, here's what's really interesting, and you'll probably agree. I'll see if you do. We have this community, and we get to know our community, and so I know that there's certain people in my community that really love a certain type of project. So I'll discover somebody on YouTube and go, oh, I need to share this with that person. So that's kind of where that came about for me, was wanting to share other people. Of course, it wasn't my idea. It was from my admin group. They were like, you should do this. And I'm like, brilliant. So, but also, here's a couple of things for you. I want to get back to your art real quick, because we had some people on our Facebook group ask questions, and I don't want to leave those questions out because those are important for us.
Yeah.
First one is, what would you consider to be the easiest thing to paint?
I'm actually doing one of the easiest things to paint, because I always try to make sure that on my channel I have that first painting in, that first painting you can feel good about, and that's silhouette paintings. I think silhouette paintings take the mental challenges that stop people away from the painting, because they can break it down easily in their own mind and emotionally, and then get over that first hurdle, which is just to start painting on the canvas. Because like what you said earlier, it's that blank canvas that really stops us. You know, like, because there's this feeling of like pass fail, like I could get some paint on here and really, really make a mistake. But in acrylics, you can't I mean, it's really hard to take a canvas to a place where gesso can't fix it. Because you can usually just go back to white. Even if you make yourself miserable, you can just, I do this all the time as a pro artist. Like, I'll be working on something and it just doesn't go where I want it to go. I gesso over it.
I'm that way. Hey, to save money, I'll buy a canvas at the thrift store and gesso over that, just because I can buy them for 50 cents. You know?
Yeah.
It's so good. But you know, sometimes like on oils and stuff like that, it's not easy to do that. But for acrylics, it's just super easy to just start over and rethink it and go again. And so you can't really do anything that you can't erase. You know, yeah. And I love that about that. So much, and I like how immediately people, if they're just showing, because painting is just a set of skills. I don't actually believe in talent.
That's awesome.
I think that's a way that we try to shorten or abbreviate what is a very long journey for hardworking people. I think we all have potential, and we can work hard on that potential and develop it between our life experience, like the things that happen to us in life, how we tell our story with our creative skills, and people will start to call that talent, but what it was just a lot of really hard work.
That's true.
You know, and so these skills are, it's not always a popular story to be telling in fine art, but I mean, they really are just developed skills that you work at. And I just happened to, as a young girl, my mom saw something, thought it was really good, and turned it into stationery. And this was back in 1973, so there's no Kinkos. And wrote all her letters on it and told everybody what a talented artist I was. And I just thought that was the best thing ever, and just then worked really hard to get more of that from Mom. So I think that's what that is.
Your mom has a good eye. She's also a crafter on YouTube, or painter on YouTube.
She is. She has a painting class on YouTube for more of an artist who's a little further along on the journey. But I'll tell you what, if you're an artist that's ready to have that breakthrough, you're ready to take it to that next level, you know, you've kind of got the paint, or there's an area where you're like stuck in one particular place, she really has some stuff where she can just break that open for people. Her Wave and Water Masterclass is like on another level. And people come out of it transformed. But art is transformative.
Now, what's her name and her channel so we can put that in the description?
She is Ginger Cook Live. And she's got, she's pretty easy to find. Ginger Cook Live, you know, she's an interesting character. She's been on QVC with her art, and she's licensed and sold all over the world in her fine art.
I've seen her on QVC.
Yeah, they've sold her stuff. She was big in that French street scene movement. Mm-hmm. So her artwork, more accurately, her artwork has been on QVC.
Yeah,
and she's also been on Pawn Stars. Yeah, I very much am proud of her, and I think she's wonderful. And she's a full-time working artist. She pays her entire, bill set from her art and her creativity.
That's amazing. Awesome. Tell us what you're doing right there.
So what I'm doing is I'm putting in this branch, because I think one of the things people really love to paint is branches and birds on branches. I get requests for that just all the time. And they're just a fun, easy, charming thing to paint. My friend Leanne over at Silver Creek Studios, if you love silhouette painting, has a fabulous resource. Have you guys seen her channel?
I haven't.
She's a doll. She's in the CAC, and she has so many well-designed silhouette paintings. Just really well put together. It's a good resource. Like, once you get this tool set down, like come see me Saturday live, because my show's live 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Come see me Saturday. Learn the techniques, and then you can hop over to Leanne's channel and do 20 silhouette paintings. You'll have fine art all around your house for the cost of a canvas and some paint.
So you do your show on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and they're always live.
Yeah, there sometimes my husband's traveling. My husband's my co-captain, kind of like you have Vince.
Mm-hmm.
He's my co-captain, and and so he has travel and things like that. And so we'll have to pre-record some things. Like, so sometimes on collaborations or things that we're doing, he'll pre-record, events. Now, if you were to take this class with me on Saturday, I'd be explaining to you how to successfully get this branch in. Because you know what's lovely about trees? They get skinnier as they get older. I just love that about trees. As they grow up and out, they're little. Thank you, Vince. But I love that about them. I just like, oh, I wish I was like a little twiggly branch. So all the little branches coming off, they have to be skinnier than the branch that they're attached to. It's like a little, except, there's always like 3 or 4 trees that have to break that rule. Most of those live in India or Africa, though.
This is why I love to watch you. It's like a lesson. Every time I watch, I learn something I didn't know before.
It's like watching Bob Ross.
Oh, thank you. I love Bob. Bob was a very special person.
Yeah.
Because he was the first person that we like to call it a democratic art. Like, I do democratic shamanistic art, which is the idea that through art is healing and art is beneficial and it's reparative and restorative. And when Bob was on the channel, he was the first one who said, anyone can paint. You don't have to go to a traditional education system and go through those normal paths. You could just learn these skills and have fun at home and feel better. And so he was kind of a radical.
I went to a painting class once, and it wasn't really a class. It was just we were all painting this painting, and he gave us
sip and paint
cues and told us exactly what to do. And it was a scene with water and mountains and all that stuff. And when it was time to do the mountains, he shows us how to do the stroke and exactly what to do. We're all newbies, and I'm like, I just looked at my canvas. I'm like, I'm afraid.
Well, that's, you talked.
Just do it.
Just do it. You talked about, like, what's the hardest thing to paint? The hardest things actually aren't any harder, is fire, smoke, water, glass. Because people mentally, they have that, like, big moment, like, well, I can see through the glass, so I have no idea how I painted, or I can see through smoke or see through water. And really, they're the exact same thing as painting a rock or a tree or anything else, because this is all illusion. This isn't really here. I'm just having a big moment where I'm pretending it's here. And I'm just making things based on that, kind of illusion that I'm feeling. And so those things tend to break people. Like, I just did fire. Like, the whole Fire Breathing Dragon was really just about showing people how to paint fire, because it's so simple, but it's mentally intense.
You just amazing. I could just watch you paint and listen to you talk.
Oh, thank you. And I'm excited. I like doing what we do. We've got so much exciting stuff happening this year. 2016 is a big year.
Give us a hint.
Well, give us a hint. All right, let me see if I can sign in. I've got the app, and you guys get to be the first people to see the app power up. Yay. outside of our world. There's the Sherpa app. And we're pretty excited about that, because it's going to let us, I'm not touching it correctly. I always do this when you touch it correctly. It's going to let us, people can find what's happening in the calendar and see upcoming events, but more importantly, it's going to, these art communities, and this, Maymay Melody, we have the best viewing community on YouTube. They're loving, they're connected, they're all best friends, awesome. They all go to all of our channels. They're amazing, and so this is going to let them, continue to talk, and I can even have some of my friends come be, like, featured or collaborate on the app with, like, special projects or events. We give badges. We have art games, because I think it's important to play games in life, especially creatively. Yeah, art games are fun. We all need art games in our life, and so that's been really fun. And then I've got my coloring book coming up that I'm super excited about.
We got a sneak peek of that if we follow you on your YouTube, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm really stoked about that. You know, the Creative Arts Council has just funded all these studies on does art help people, and the research coming back is extraordinary for how it helps you if you're you're going through Alzheimer's or you've had any sort of brain injury. It shows a reduction in blood pressure. It shows an increase, in some cases as effective as medicine. I'm not suggesting anyone ever stop taking their medicine, but I'm just saying, like, they're really seeing these positive beneficial effects for people, and it's like, especially these coloring books. So I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited what the painting does, because we get letters every day where people share how much the painting has helped them, just deal with the challenges in their lives. And that is, to me, that's the really exciting part of doing this, like having this art 3 times a week for free on YouTube. And then and I don't know if you guys caught this, you may have seen the pears. Have you guys seen all the pears?
Yes.
I had no idea the pears were going to be that big.
Did you see the picture I sent you in the Facebook message?
No.
I knew
Did you see pears?
You would have cracked up. We went to Memphis recently, and the hotel we stayed in, there was a 5-foot-tall painting of a pear. And as soon as I saw it, I thought of you and had to send a picture. I was like, you've got to see this 5-foot-tall pear.
I did see that. That's actually a really good pear. I was super impressed by that. Well, I am doing, I don't like to call it a master class. It's not a master class. It's a quest. And I think you'll relate to this because you have kind of a quest going on, with your journaling. But it's, we're going to meet up weekly, and we're going to, how in the art store some of those gels and additives and pastes and the paint and how it mixes, it all just is so overwhelming. You feel like you need a chemistry degree to even deal. We're going to cover everything in the art store, just really in a pragmatic, easy, direct way, and we're building these wonderful books, these personal artist books, so that at the end of this journey, people really know everything that's there, and they just know the basics of what they have to know about art to be artists, just to be creative and artists in their own space. And the pears, they're fun because at the beginning of this journey, you paint these pears, and you write on the back who you feel you are as an artist, and at the end of 2016, you paint the pears again, which they'll be very different pears, and you write what you think about yourself as an artist. And I think people are going to really surprise themselves deeply.
It's a brilliant journey idea. It's brilliant. It's going to take the guesswork away for so many people who need to try it, and then just don't know where to begin. It's a beautiful idea.
I am super thrilled about it. I think here I'm going to just do the simplest bird body I can, because sometimes it's nice to have stuff. I like to have some things. We have some complicated paintings, but I like to have some things on the channel that somebody who's like real fresh or painting with their whole family just feels like they can do.
Well, while you're doing that bird body, I want to ask Vince, what's that question you had for Cinnamon from the viewers? And there may be more now.
Yeah, there's been several. Anthony asked, he basically said he just now discovered and really likes watercoloring backgrounds for his card bases, and he was wondering if you could recommend, like a good watercolor starting kit or starter kit and some brushes to get started with.
Well, in watercolors, what I would really suggest is for just starting out, they have the Winsor Newton line has a wonderful starter kit. And then if you go into Michael's, there are some of the Artist Loft starter brushes. I wish my cup was here. I'm going to get my cup. I'm right here.
Get it, girl.
I'm going to get it. And then it'll tell me. And I've really enjoyed these is the Royal Langnickel brushes, this group, because they have these nice comfort. So if you're overly tense in your hand positioning, and they're fairly hardy, and I really have enjoyed those. But like on watercolors in general right now, I'm very excited about the core watercolors from Golden, but they are not entry watercolors. But they're a new kind of watercolor. It's a new science in paint. We don't get a lot of new science in paint very often, and they've come out with a new formula for watercolor, which has been pretty unchanged for like 1,000 years.
Wow.
So
do you ever do watercolor classes?
I do watercolors, but I don't do watercolor classes. Watercolor artists, huh?
Who do you know that does that we could recommend for Tony?
I would recommend for Tony Marty Owens and Lindsay the Frugal Crafter.
Mm-hmm.
I think, get going with Lindsay. She reviews, if you want to know more about watercolors, she reviews so many paint products, really just all the time, and she'll really tell you what she thinks of them, and then she's some wonderful watercolor projects. And then when you kind of have that down, I don't know if you guys have seen him, but I'm really liking Marty Owens. I'm kind of excited about him. I think he's really neat.
Good suggestions. What else you got for Vince?
Mimi said that she kind of agrees with everybody on the Bob Ross comment, and she's wondering, Cinnamon, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, if I could have any wish on the planet, I would be painting somewhere tropical every day with everybody on my channel and just sharing art. But like from paradise, I don't know if I might get that wish, but it's something I would love to see happen. So if I'm just visualizing on my vision board of life,
if you vision it, it'll bring it to you.
I feel like that's very true. That's why we always do wishes on the canvas, because it's so hard to stay optimistic, isn't it?
Okay, and the last one that I have, and this is from multiple users, they want to know, where's John?
John, would you like to come over and say hi? John's in his broadcast pajamas, so I don't know if he'll join us. He's going to poke his head in. He's in his broadcast pajamas. If you follow the show at all, this is not going to be a surprise. We're kind of Doctor Who fans.
Yay, John!
Because we kidnap and I wanted to also make sure that I got a chance to talk about a couple really amazing collaborations I've got coming up.
Please do.
If that's okay. Mm-hmm. So one amazing collaboration that I have coming up is the Big Eye Princesses, and I'm really thrilled about this. I got a bunch of wonderful big eye, you know those beautiful big eyes like the Margaret Keens, a bunch of the artists online that do that are fantastic at that, and then some artists who are really great artists, but they were interested in doing that, and we're coming together and we're going to visit every Disney princess, and it was really interesting because we had to go back and forth on Tinkerbell because do you know she's been removed as a princess?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but then we decided we didn't care. We grew up with her as a princess, so we're keeping her. So we have one kind of unofficial princess, but we have all of them. I'm doing Moana, which is the princess coming up this fall for Disney, and we're going to each have videos that we each have a different one. So we've got Pink at Heart Rebecca Kay, if you guys haven't seen her, and then I'm introducing some new artists I'm really excited about, which is Spencer Sinclair and Tedra from Soggy Kitten. I just think they're amazing painters. We've got Angela Anderson in there. We have Andrea Gamal from Creative Creations. Have you guys seen her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's coming in. She's doing it. We've got Secret Soda and Poet Spice. She's a big periscoper.
Love Poet Spice.
We have some of our periscopers, and Rita Marie and Audie G and Chuck the Animated Pencil and Megan Sandoval, and I'm just making sure, and Ayala from Ayala Art and Doll. She's like the queen of the doll face dolls. So it's pretty exciting. And Secret Soda, she's got some good stuff. I've seen it. And the Junk and Data Girl, and that's going to be January 23rd. And then this February, Angela Anderson and I are back together for the Angeluni nonsense. Have you seen our Angeluni stuff?
Loved it.
So we are, for Valentine's Day, doing 2 famous paintings. I'm going to teach how to do them. She's doing The Kiss from Clint, and I'm doing La Belle Dame Merci from Dickacy. The night kissing of the woman on the horse thing. It's one of the Raphaelite paintings. So we're going to have an all-day paint in February 6th. I'm super excited about that.
Now,
do you guys think we need a friend?
Where do we go to keep up with all this information? Like, where do we find links? Where's the best place for the viewers to find all of this stuff you're talking about?
So for the Big Eye Girl, you can follow either the Creative Arts Collaboration fan page on Facebook, or you can just come to Heart Party, Cinnamon Cooney's Heart Party on Facebook. And, of course, I'm always tweeting and Instagram, and that information is out. For Angela and I, we have a group called Angeluni, where, if we're up to something crazy or creative, we go in there and so you can see a bunch of stuff there. Actually, that was what was so funny about the pears is people didn't know where to put the pears because I didn't have that Facebook page up yet. And they just started raining pears on Angela, and I didn't even know to tell her, hey, there's some pears coming, because I thought there'd be like 10 pears, not like hundreds of pears. And she's like, what's going on? Where's all the pears? So
okay, so
I'm excited about...
from a viewer.
Oh. Okay.
Christy D said, for someone that has nothing but craft paint, what brand would be good to start with for better quality?
I am really fond of the Winsor Newton Galleria acrylics. They're a mid-grade paint. They have more coverage than the Artist Loft or the Liquitex Basics, but they're definitely down a price point from the pro paints. And that's a nice place to start getting in. And then, another thing is like, it's like with anything in crafting, you work your sales and you can get a deal. Like, I get all my pro paints at a deal. I'm just constantly looking for the 75% off list and whatever's happening. And so I have Golden and Liquitex and Matisse, but I'm not paying, $40 a tube because I'm not doing that.
There's one thing I think we might need to clarify. You correct me if I'm wrong. As a crafter, I use a craft paint. Cinnamon uses a heavy body acrylic. Yes. So the first thing you might want to do is kind of do a little YouTube search or go to Cinnamon's channel and see the difference between a craft paint and a heavy body paint, because that'll change your life where a canvas is concerned.
Yeah, where a canvas is concerned. Like, I think craft paints definitely have their place, and the two main craft lines have a paint for artists, which a lot of people don't know, where they... See, because the only issue with craft paint is that it darkens when it dries, and it may not mix as you expect it to, and that can be really disastrous in a painting. But they have made, what was it, the folk art made the gold caps. Who's the gold caps?
I think that is folk art.
So if you see the gold cap on the folk art, it's not archival. It's not going to last 500 years, but then you're not trying to get into the Louvre. You're just trying to have a wonderful painting experience. And that's, that's really the important part. Huh?
You see me leave?
Yes. Yeah, I did. But that's them. And so those have less color shift, and those are less likely to they're more likely you can get a phthalo in it, and if you mix it with a CAD, you're going to get a fairly close green to what any of the teachers are doing on YouTube. And I mean, I love my show, and I definitely want everyone to come by, but YouTube is an endless resource of painting projects.
It is.
Yeah.
She was talking about, it's got the gold cap, so you see that on folk art paint, and it calls itself a premium all-purpose acrylic paint, and it says, I love this, exceptional brushability. And you can tell the difference in this than just the regular stuff. You can tell.
In all of these places, I think people don't realize is there's resources. So my recommendation when people are doing paint is just to buy a national brand that has a help desk. Because if you have a national brand with a help desk, then they have to care enough about how they treat you with their product. And so what I find is, like, as long as I've got a website I can go to and say, I got this paint and it was gummy, and somebody answers me back, there's a baseline of quality on the product. But if it's a company I've never heard of and there's no help desk, you're going to get some strange paint.
That's brilliant. There's an 800 number on this doggone bottle. I didn't even know it. Never even paid attention.
So they're willing to back that up, and so I'm kind of like, I went to their website, and I did a thing back in the beginning of my YouTube, is I pretended to be somebody with a paint problem, and I wrote a bunch of the companies and timed how long it took them to get back to me and how they answered my questions and the resources that they shared with me to see who I liked, and I got a real sense of, who's really there to come back and how they do that. And honestly, folk art, they got back right away. And the main national brands get back in under 4 days. Golden gets back in 24 hours with a dissertation on whatever your question is.
Lexi asked, do you recommend buying like painting sets so it's got multiple colors in it, or do you just think it's better to purchase individual colors?
I think if the sale is great. Get the painting set because, like, so in a painting set, what it is you'll get ultramarine blue rather than phthalo. So if you're painting along with me, that I don't use ultramarine blue, I use phthalo. And all you'd have to do then, if you're getting some crazy sale, is just get a tube of phthalo, and now you have ultramarine, which is a great blue. And so you can play with that. So what I would say is I'll always try to balance your painting experience, the quality of the paint, and the health of your pocketbook. Right? So you want a happy, healthy pocketbook, and you want to not be sitting there repainting, things 25 times because somebody didn't manufacture the paint correctly. So it's well-being and financial well-being.
But there's something about the way you paint that I don't think people realize, and I want you to elaborate on this. Cinnamon has a palette of colors, so she doesn't go to the store and buy 4 shades of orange.
No. Like this here, when I did this is titanium white, cadmium yellow medium, and cad red, and then I do black. But I get these shades from mixing, and then I'm crazy. I use the cads, which is controversial, but I love them. Because they're so bright and they're so vibrant and they really pop. And I don't eat my paint. So just don't eat paint.
Don't let your kids eat it.
That's my big recommendation. And if you watch and you've seen my mom go for that paint-covered cupcake, you know why I say it now.
That's funny. But I don't think people comprehend that. I mean, I didn't. For years, I would look at a painting and go, they must own 500 paints. But because I saw craft paint, not mixing heavy body acrylic paints.
There are artists that do that, though. There are artists that paint what's called directly from the tube or the bottle, and they will literally, because they want from the factory pigment load, will do that. And I think that's what makes art kind of initially challenging to get into, because there's no real hard and fast rules. There's just a way of doing it that works for you, and what's wonderful about art is you have to embrace who you naturally are. And I always like to say, if you're a perfectionist and everything's labeled and the labels are all out, don't try to be some weird, crazy, expressive, barefooted, free spirit. You're not going to have a good time. Embrace what it is and do the art that reflects where your joy is. So if it's wonderful to be all tidy and orderly, that's okay in the painting, and there's a place for that. But if you're a free spirit, don't try to get all hyper realistic and, and orderly, because you have to find your happy space in the art, to have the lower blood pressure.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Now I have one last probing question that I have to ask, and then we'll let Vince give you all the other questions. Did the glitter come out of John's beard?
Yes. It actually did. And what we learned is John has a skin that loves glitter and does not need glue for it to even stick to him. So it was really hard when we got the glitter in places it didn't go to get it off. I was sitting there with like a brush trying to scrub it out, and it got up in his nostrils really bad. So he was a good, and we just followed the tutorial that Melody sent me with the glue stick. So he was a real brave soul to do that, but it did wash out. It did go down the sink, and other than a few sparkly nose cave bats that happened from it.
If you didn't see it was on my channel, Cinnamon did a glitter snowman, because I know I'm anti-glitter, so I got Cinnamon to do glitter for you guys on my channel. And at the end of that, John comes in and he has a glitter beard, and it is classic and awesome, and we loved it.
And I think you got to strap in for the glitter.
I have to say I really enjoyed the glitter paint show that you did on Maymay's channel. I thought it was great. And since we brought that up, Anthony asked a question about glitter painting technique. What's the one piece of advice you would give someone in regards to doing it?
So my advice to glitter painting is, and this is big in fine art right now, so if you want to take this on, you're going to be moving paintings left and right, is that you need to have obvious value changes in your painting. So you don't want to have highly detailed value changes. You want 3 to 4 value changes. That would be like shades of gray, like so something dark, something mid-tone, something highlight. in the color, and then don't be afraid to custom mix a color with that glitter, because they're only going to give you so many colors in the big flake glitter, but you can get in there and be like, just like you mix your paint, you can mix your glitter. This is hot in the fine art world right now. Every show in Houston, it feels like it's about glitter art. I have a friend, he's a fine art collector, does an art retreat, and I was just at his art retreat, and everybody left to go see the glitter show where we were at, and he had just purchased, I don't know, he has like 300 pieces of artwork. He just purchased 3 serious glitter pieces. It is all about the glitter right now.
Maymay loves glitter.
I do too.
Maymay loves the look of glitter.
Yeah. And I think Maymay should share a glitter project, like how to glitter a photo and make a card.
Today's video on my channel, I have found a way to use glitter and not get it everywhere. And I'm not going to say what it is. You're just going to have to go watch it.
I think everybody has to go watch that.
Look, I'll show you a sneak peek.
I might. Oh, wow. I love that. I will iCard that into one of my glitter videos.
He looks glitter painted, but he isn't. I love him. What do you think, Mel? You see him?
Wow.
Yes, I know how you did it, too.
Yep, so go watch my video and find out how to do it. It'll be up later, by the way, not up right now, so.
I don't know how you did it at all.
It's so cheating.
No clue.
It's so cheating.
Oh, you know what? We have not given away have we talked about the giveaway?
We haven't.
Have a giveaway. It's a big one, too.
Tell us what it is.
So I have the Soho Complete art set, which I really love because it's everything you need to start painting at home in acrylic paint. It's the palette paper like what I have. It's a really good easel in the box. And what's really neat about this easel is the only place you can get it is in the box. They don't have the easel loose. It's the paint is a good mid-grade acrylic paint. It's not like, it's not all the way in this Liquitex Student Basics. It's a little step up from that. There's brushes. There's canvas boards, and people forget they can use canvas boards. You don't have to buy canvas. You can buy these boards and paint on them and get the painting experience and not that canvases are particularly expensive, but it's even less money than canvases. So there's canvases boards in there. It's palettes, knives. It's even some of the gels we're doing in the big art quest. And it comes in this gorgeous box, and it's like this endless treasure trove of painting supplies. And it's new for Jerry's Artorama, and I saw it over the holidays when I was looking for stuff to be excited about on the show. And my mom even got one for my daughter because it was so amazing. So I'm shipping that to however you guys do your contest. That goes to one person, but it's got to be in the U.S. for that one. And I think you guys have a picture of it. And then the other one I have, because I YouTube's global. We have friends all over the world. So I didn't want to leave them out. And so I have a package of Jerry's Artoramas, Creative Mark brushes, which is what I paint with all the time on my show, the Ebony Splendors. And then this fabulous art soap that was made for me from Etsy. It's a custom scent, and it's an owl, and it's done in that really luscious cold process method with all the emollients and the oils and things. And so that's going to that can be to anyone, anywhere.
Cool. And to enter for that drawing, when the show's over, you can go to our blog, ThisCraftyLifeLive.com, and you'll see the post with Cinnamon and with this video. And then underneath that is a Rafflecopter app. And all you need to do that is, I think you have to sign in because we need your email. And then you have to give us a secret word. We haven't decided what the secret word is.
Give us a word, Cinnamon, whatever your favorite word of the day.
Oh, well, I mean, the evil part of me wants to challenge people, but we'll say that the secret word today is cadmium.
Oh, good one.
Okay, so you have to put cadmium in.
And any spelling of it, we're not mean.
Any spelling will work as long as, we do a secret word so we know that you watch the video. So please don't share the secret word, but if you have 24 hours to enter. So it will end at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So for the people who's watching this late, you have 24 hours from when it started. And we do that for every show. So if you're new to This Crafty Life Live, we always ask our guests to do a giveaway. And if you can't make it live, we understand that because people are working. So you always have 24 hours to get into the drawing.
Well, it is 12 o'clock by my clock, and I have to tell you, Cinnamon, we have enjoyed having you and watching you paint. It has been a joy.
I was wondering if I could ask your community before we left if they liked one bird or they want two bird. How many bird they want?
Ooh, tell us, Vinny. See what they tell us.
Well, we'll see what people say.
There's
While we're
about
waiting
30
on that,
seconds
Maymay, you
left.
want to answer a question?
I'll be happy to answer your question.
Let's see. Stacy asked what kind of art journal or what kind of journal you use for your art journaling.
Okay. Last year, I happen to have them right here. Last year, I used this big dude, okay, and filled it up, almost scrapbooky. So this guy's like at 8.5 by 11. He's from Joann's, and it's you can see it's kind of a hard press book. And I want to say this was a Strathmore book, but I can't promise that. I don't remember the name, but it has the sketch paper in it. And that was last year's. I did a much bigger one. This year I'm not taking on quite so big because we changed the challenge. So this year the book is a spiral bound, and I was corrected. I thought this was watercolor paper, but somebody told me they think it's sketch paper also. So there's sketch paper inside. It's spiral bound. There's my front page, and I'll show you the first week. There's the first week of it. And I went spiral bound this year because the spine on my other one broke so quickly. So I like the spiral bound, and it'll grow as I go. You know, it'll get bigger, but I'm okay with that. So that's the one I'm using this year. This one's from Hobby Lobby, but it's the very. I think this one is a. It might even be an artist. It's not Artist Loft because Hobby Lobby doesn't have that, do they? I can't remember, but it's just a sketchbook that's spiral bound. Looks like this. I even saw these at Walmart yesterday. You can find them there too.
Okay, Cinnamon, it looks like the consensus is two. Some
Two
people
birds.
say baby bird. Some people say love birds. So
Some
there you
people
go.
are
It
saying
lets
the
you
baby
be
bird.
creative and do your thing.
All right. So I guess you'll have to turn in Saturday to see if I do a baby bird or, well, I suppose I could do here, or a love bird.
I love a cliffhanger.
What are you thinking, Miss Melody?
I think
Cliffhanger.
maybe a baby bird with her.
I like mamas and babies. I do, but you got to come Saturday and see what birds join this bird. Who flies in on the branch when we're not looking? Because sometimes your paintings, they evolve when you're not looking.
Wow.
Yeah, and the link to Cinnamon's channel is going to be in the description below and on our website. So subscribe to her, subscribe to Maymay. If you click the red subscribe button on this video you're watching, that's subscribing to me. And Maymay and I switch off. Normally, every other show is on my channel, then her channel, and so we switch back and forth. So you have to subscribe to both of us.
Next week's show's on my channel. I owe it to Melody because she's done like the last 3, bless her heart. So next week's show's on my channel. I'll do the hard work next week. I'll be doing all the clicking and stuff. So thanks guys for coming in.
I have a playlist too on my channel where you can see all the shows. If you've missed any of them, you can check them all out.
Me too. Be sure to check out ThisCraftyLifeLive.com. Check us out on Facebook. Check out Cinnamon. Go look at Maymay. Go look at Melody. Go share the love. Tell everybody about us. And Venus, unless you have any other questions we need to answer, we're going to sign off because it's after 12.
Yeah,
I have
and
one
Lindsay,
You
the
got time for
Frugal
one more?
Crafter, just popped in chat.
Maymay, you got time for one more?
One more, yeah.
Question was about the Stamp Club. Folks want to know, do they need to sign up for it on the new website, or does it transfer automatically, or what do they need to do?
It will not transfer automatically. You will need to switch over, but it won't be active until February. It won't be active until January the 10th. So that way everybody that's already on the club will get theirs processed and sent out. On January the 10th, I'll open it up on the maymaymadeit.com site. Don't do anything yet. I'm going to do a full video tutorial and explain it to you 100%. Because I don't want anybody to miss out on their. If you're in my club for 12 consecutive months, you get a free exclusive stamp set at the end of the club. So I don't want anybody to have a break in their 12 months. So we want to make sure we do it all smoothly. So just wait for my video. I'll try to do it this week and get that to you. But on the 10th, we'll do that from maymaymadeit.com.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate you guys very much. You did a wonderful show again today.
And next
I just
time
wanted to make sure you guys.
with the Frugal Crafter. All right. Bye, guys.
That's exciting.
Bye, everyone.